Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and one of our favorite guests is back on for another episode of Spotlight on the Community, and that's Debra Emerson. She is the CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie Center. How you doing there, Debra?
I'm doing great. How about you? It's Friday.
It is Friday. I'm trying to think how many times have you been on the show here? You've been CEO for 25 years. We launched Spotlight on the Community in 2007. And I think you were one of our first guests, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Right. And then I was talking to Laura Tangretti-Basie, formerly Laura Mastara, from Homestart. And she's been on the show for about 16 years. And so
I know Laura. She's a great lady.
She's a wonderful lady. She was on last week and all that business. So, well, thank you for coming and supporting our show, and talk a little bit about the mission of Sophie Center.
St. Madeleine Sophie Center, we serve over 400 adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Been in business since 1960s. Originally started with the Sacred Heart Nuns, and that's kind of our foundation. We're non-denominational. We're funded through the state, through the Department of Developmental Services and San Diego Regional Center.
Right.
And so we have a huge campus, about 6 acres, and on our campus we have an organic garden, aquatics pool, kitchen, computer lab, and just many other different opportunities for our students to learn and grow, and also meet their goals in life. And they love getting that paycheck, and so that's very important to them. And so we help people with life skills, finding them jobs, volunteer sites also.
Yeah, and I think you and I talk about this all the time. And do you still have someone that has been there the whole time?
We have several people.
Wow.
We used to have about 12. It's less than 12 now.
Right.
But probably about 5 people.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Mark Remlin, his dad was the head of the Autism Society originally.
Interesting.
Then we have Annie Thunder. She lives around the corner. Her mother was one of the original ladies that helped start the auxiliary where they bought milk for the students. So we have a lot of history in that community in the city of El Cajon, East County. Right.
Well, no, you guys are a venerable, iconic component of that of East County and that area. And it's a day program. It's not spend the night, correct?
Right. It's just a day program from like 8 to 2:30.
Right. Exactly. And how many are in the program right now?
We have close to 300 on site. We're still kind of recovering from COVID.
Right.
People still want to come back because of health issues.
Interesting.
I think it was just a couple weeks ago we were able to stop wearing masks, and it seems odd. I hadn't seen people's faces, so I get to see everybody's smiling face now. So that kind of changed us right now.
Right.
So hopefully by the end of the year, we try to get everybody back 5 days a week, which staffing is difficult.
Right.
And we have we have our own transportation. We have about 50 buses, finding bus drivers, finding staff to help us during the day.
Right, exactly. And when you guys are at full capacity, how many of the folks are in the program?
Over 400.
Right, exactly. Every day.
We support people in jobs in the community where we job coach.
Right. Will all 400 be participating all 5 days, or some would be 3 days, some would be 2? How does that work?
Our goal is to get everybody back 5 days a week.
Right.
Some people probably would come back 2 or 3 depending on their abilities and maybe their health issues. And transportation, we can't get everybody there.
Right.
And families need us to pick them up and take them home. So that has been a big piece too. too.
Right, exactly. We're chatting with Debra Emerson. She is the CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie's Center. Been in that catbird seat for 25 years. The organization was founded in 1966, located out in East County in El Cajon. And you're listening to another episode of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community, brought to you by community champions of, that is, Cloudcast Media, and, of course, Mission Fed Credit Union. And we are in Mission Fed's studio here. And Debra, that's right. It's the first time you've been in the studio, right?
It's lovely.
Yeah, Mission Fed's been a wonderful partner, sponsoring our Spotlight show since last July, and the studios in Scripps Ranch and their headquarters, and really they've been great partners with us for many, many years. They used to be a frequent guest on it. Now we get to bring everybody into this area. Well, you have one of your very favorite events coming up on the 29th of April. It's the 22nd annual Morning Glory Brunch. Talk about it.
It's just on our campus, and our campus is a beautiful campus. We're still improving it. But I was just walking through the garden yesterday with my staff, and all that rain, oh my goodness, the garden is just blooming. So if you want to see a great garden, also the facilities itself, come on down on Saturday, next Saturday, and join us at Morning Glory Brunch. Our famous thing is our frog race. You know, we sell plastic frogs.
That's right.
We've had those calls. Is it a live frog? No, it's not a live frog. But we still have plenty of tickets, plenty of frogs, music, food, a drink. Even Tito's gave us vodka for, special drinks at the event.
Nice.
Champagne's flowing. And, just all types of food. Brigantines coming and people like that. So they've been with us for a long time, so I appreciate their support.
No, it's a great event. I was honored to be there, I think at least once, maybe twice. I can't remember that. And it's a great setting, and it's for just an amazing cause to focus on all the great work that you folks do out there. Debra is going to be at 2119 East Madison Avenue in El Cajon, 92019. 11 to 3 is when it kicks off, and it'll be a Saturday, the 29th. And what's the website if people want to sign up?
If they just go to stmsc.org, there's a Q code or whatever you call those now. That's
Right.
new ways to get into the system, or you can call the front office.
Right, exactly. And the proceeds go toward your garden and aquatics program and everything that you folks are involved in. And as you mentioned, some of the folks that are in the program have been there since 1966. Is there an age limit? Is it 18 the youngest can be in there? How does that work?
18's the youngest. We do have younger people on our Special Olympics team, our swim team.
Okay.
And so they can be a part of that. And
Right.
we've been doing that for many years, probably 20 years ourselves.
Right.
And then we have people 85. As long as health is good,
Right.
they can be there. And we have people like that in our senior program.
Right.
And it's really exciting. Also we have a big art program in downtown El Cajon.
You
called
do.
Sophie's Art Gallery. So we're really part of the community, believe in giving and giving back. And that's what St. Madeleine is, part of the community.
Right. No, without question. And, the folks that are there, is there a waiting list because of maybe some of the challenges with maybe not as much, employees or volunteers you've had before, or there is no waiting list?
We've always had, I don't want to call it a waiting list.
I know what right.
It is because we don't have the staff.
Right.
We have to maintain certain ratios for the programs, a 3-to-1, a 4-to-1, a 6-to-1. So really the staffing has been big this year, not able to get staff, even one position, a nurse. We need a nurse.
Right.
So a lot of things like that. We need drivers. We just need regular DSPs, direct staff. So, if we get everybody back on board, we can take everybody back at that level.
Right. Are other organizations that in the same space you are very similar also finding those challenges as well?
I think the whole industry, even not just our industry, but
restaurant, go down the list, right?
Restaurants, hotels,
right.
Everybody I hear, a friend of mine's Hacienda, Cindy Antonia Hacienda, they had 4 interviews, nobody showed up. She goes, why would people make interviews and nobody show up? That happens to us too.
Such a different world. Yeah. It is such it's a head-scratching world. We're chatting with Debra Emerson. She is the CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie's Center. Been doing wonderful work with those individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities since 1966. She's been CEO since for 25 years. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing wonderful things for San Diegans for more than 60 years. Talking about their big fundraiser, or one of their big fundraisers, I should say. The 22nd Annual Morning Glory Brunch will be Saturday, April the 29th, from 11 to 3, right at their facility, so to speak, at St. Madeleine Sophie Center, 2119 East Madison Avenue. Will this thing sell out?
It has in the past.
I know it has.
I think we're still getting back from COVID.
Right.
But it is outside, and so I think that's a good position to be in, the events outside. So it's a beautiful day, usually in El Cajon.
It really is.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those events. If you haven't been, this is a good time to come.
Well, listen, there's tastings, there's live music, there's shopping. You get to meet the people that certainly benefit from what you folks have been doing as well, and that's half the joy of meeting those folks. They're happy to share their wares and what they've been working on. Will you have a lot of artwork out there?
Yes, we will. They've been working on a lot of different things. Including some wind chimes and special paintings that will fit into the garden.
Right.
So it's a special place.
Right.
And, with a lot of great treasures there.
Right. Now, if somebody, and now when you get these folks that have some of the developmental challenges, do they have to be vetted by the regional center, or how do they come to you just to make sure, you qualify? How does that work?
Usually they come through San Diego Regional Center, but
right.
We have had people come to us themselves. They found out who we were.
Interesting.
But we have to send them, if they want to be state funded,
right.
They have to go back to the regional center. But if they want to be private funded, that's a whole different.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Different thing.
Okay, so if somebody, all right, I didn't know that. If someone has developmental challenges and they have the money to pay for that person,
service, yeah.
You're right. Are they all at the same cost per person?
No, it would be different depending on the
needs
on the program they go into.
Okay, right. What different types of programs are there?
One of the programs that's pretty popular right now is BMOD, because there's a lot of autistic people there.
Okay.
So it's more demanding for staff. It's a 3-to-1. Senior program, people are getting older.
I know.
And their parents maybe didn't put them in a program. We still have that, whereas people with a disability has been living at home and maybe not in a day program or even in a group home.
Right.
So there's a whole group there because, we're aging out ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And so then I
refuse to age out.
I know. So their parents are looking for services for them too, and their families.
Right. And and with that, now will somebody not necessarily age out of a program, but if they're doing really well and they don't feel that they need to be in the program, do they leave sometimes?
Yes, they do. They have a choice to leave.
Of course.
And go to a different program. Maybe we're not meeting their needs, or they need some other, maybe more medical things than we do at the center.
Right.
It just depends. There's a lot of people that are independent. We help them find jobs. Once they find a job, they kind of go do their own thing.
Right.
Because they're getting a paycheck.
And do some come back?
Yeah, if we've had a couple of people that have worked out in the industry, a regular job. After 20 years, they come back to one of our programs, and they can still do volunteerism and work a smaller job too.
Right. So, Debra, when we come back from break, I want to talk a little bit more about volunteering to support your organization. Talk more about the Morning Glory Brunch, how people can donate. We all know that money doesn't grow on trees. Last I checked,
right?
In this area, and what else we can do do to support the efforts you have in terms of, do you need things donated, do you need art supplies, or whatever the case may be, when we return with Debra Emerson, CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie Center in El Cajon. Been doing wonderful work with developmentally challenged adults, empowering them to just do wonderful things in this world. And I was honored, Debra, as you know, to meet a couple of them that were written some books and done some artwork too. So we're going to chat more about that and see how we can get engaged with this terrific St. Madeleine Sophie Center. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing wonderful things for San Diegans for more than 60 years. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We're brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing wonderful things for San Diego for more than 60 years. We're here in the beautiful Mission Fed studio at their headquarters in Scripps Ranch. Honored to have on one of my frequent guests, and that's Debra Emerson, CEO of St. Madeleine's Sophie Center since 1966. Have been educating and empowering individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And boy, do these folks realize their potential with all the great work that you do as well. You got your big event coming up on the 29th of April, correct?
Yes, exciting.
Right, exactly. So there's going to be frog races, not real frogs, but frog races for prizes, actually. $3,500 in prizes. There's going to be tastings, live music, and so forth. It's 11 to 3 on Saturday, April 29, at St. Madeleine Sophie Center, located in El Cajon. You can go to the website, for that. So you'd mentioned, like everybody else, is that it's a challenge to get staff. It's a challenge to get, I think you said, the nurse you're looking for, correct?
Yes.
Right, and so forth, and volunteers. What are the requisites to be on staff to work with this population?
Well, it's always good that you've worked in our industry, but
Right.
in any similar industry, I think as people, it's a passion to help people. I think that's really part of their, I think, an experience for
Right.
them. So you have to, help other people.
Right.
So
Do you have to know about the folks that have developmental disabilities? Do you have to have a course in it? Do you have to?
we train our staff
Right.
fairly well, but it'd be not, a lot of people have brothers and sisters,
Right.
family members that even if somebody has Alzheimer's, you can kind of connect a lot of different
Right.
things, or people that have heavy needs or medical needs.
Right, right.
Just people, I think, have passion and want to serve. And I think that's really important.
Right. I mean, are you looking to hire 5 staff, 7 staff, 10 staff? Do you have
Probably a
an idea?
dozen.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, probably a dozen. And also for direct staff, we also need drivers, art teachers.
Right.
Just different specialties, people for our aquatics program,
Right.
people for our kitchen, people for our garden. So we have a variety of different jobs on site.
Right. Is that in the website, or does it say jobs needed, jobs?
It says we are hiring, so you can.
Okay. Oh, good.
And then we have a lot of jobs on Indeed too.
Right.
So, and just word of of mouth.
Right.
And we just advertise everywhere we can to get people just like everybody else.
Right. No, without question. Do you work with a lot of the colleges and the college students to volunteer if they're doing some community service work, even with the high schools?
Yes, during the summer, and I think it's USD, the nurse program, come to us each year.
Nice.
And then we have some other programs coming to us. We even have a group from Sacred Heart Girls that come every year, about a dozen, and they're from all over the country. They spend the night on campus and learn about the students and the different programs.
Right. Now, do you work with other organizations that do similar things? We talked right before the show started that we've big fans of Molly Nocon Edward at Noah's, No Home stuff. Like, how closely do you work with them?
A lot of their students come to St. Madeleine, so
really,
yeah, we partner and collaborate all the time. And,
okay.
Just our industry, it's fairly small in San Diego. In group homes, Molly's in group homes. I'm in programs, but partnerships and collaborations are so important in our industry.
Right. Is there like with other areas where there's a need to fill in some of the gaps, more so in San Diego, working with adults with developmental challenges than in other areas, or it's pretty much like this across the board?
I would say it's pretty much like this across the board. We are state funded. The budget, though, doesn't really give us all the funds that we need. We shortfall about $4,000 a student, so we have to fundraise at a high level. So donations are very important, and monthly donors, those kind of things.
Sure.
It's all the time. I think we've been behind the curve in our industry. It doesn't seem like there's the funding there that's in the state budget.
Right, exactly. And then how about you get private donations as well?
Yes, we get private donations. We do, right now we're in the midst of doing a new senior program.
Oh, talk about that. What's that look like?
It's a new senior building. It's going to be about 5,000 square feet, and it's going to be at the top of the garden. Our seniors are in a building that was built many years ago, so it doesn't meet their needs. So we're excited about that. Right now we're getting ready to demo and start that project. And then once that building's done, we're going to renovate the building they were in and change it around so it meets the needs of our organization today.
Right. A lot of work to get done. Will any of the folks that are going through your program help out on that? Obviously, they can't be probably, operating jackhammers, but can they help out in some way? And do they?
No, probably not, because of safety reasons.
Right, insurance,
Insurance reasons, of course, and liability and all those good things.
Right.
But we have a lot of donors, local donors that are giving, and a lot of contractors that want to help us. So I think it'll be a nice addition to our program to have this. And also, it's right by the garden, so the seniors will love that.
Sure.
Just always need space. Bathrooms is a big one.
Really?
Yeah, bathrooms get used a lot.
Sure.
Just every day we need different things. Gasoline, how expensive gas is.
Exactly.
So those kind of things impact us. We do lunch every day for people who want to buy lunch. All those costs have gone up. So health insurance, car insurance, you name it.
Right.
So our costs are going up, but our funding is not going at the same level.
Right. Yeah. No, you got to make some tough choices, I imagine, in this, of course, and. It comes down to, do I need to do X, Y, and Z? We'd love to do X, Y, and Z, but we maybe only do Z or something this year and this. Do you see, and obviously you'll need some advocates, and you do have advocates, of course, in the state Senate and the state assembly, without question. Are they more receptive, would you say, now, not that they were not receptive in the past, but more receptive to the needs of these folks? Everyone seems to be laser beamed on a lot of challenges we have, homelessness, maybe growing developmental disabilities with adults. Or do you see it's pretty much the same?
I think it's pretty much the same. I think we need more attention to the funding. I don't know why they don't recognize that. And just for a person, that has a family member, that's not a temporary thing, that's a life thing.
Exactly.
And so they need help dealing with that situation. And they're going to work and, have a normal life situation. And even that person with a disability, they deserve some type of normal life situation.
Of course.
And that that costs money.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they realize the expense of it, and especially in hiring people. You have to hire a person about $20 an hour, or they could go to Target or to Starbucks. And so here you need people to help people.
Right.
And so to me, I don't understand it at all, why they don't realize the impact that they're doing on this industry.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where you got to sit there and yell for the mountaintops, and, I know and get your supporters. And I know like Molly's a big supporter of this, Molly Nocon from Noah Homes and so forth on that. Do you have some of the local politicians? They come out and...
Oh, yes. Very well supported locally, just like Molly. So...
You're right.
But housing's different than a day program. You're
correct.
Just like homelessness.
That's correct.
Housing. A person with disability needs housing.
Right.
The day program is, I always think we're like a liberal arts college for them, where they're still learning. I think people discredit a person with a developmental intellectual disability. They're very capable.
Inexcusable.
It's very inexcusable. And so they're still learning, they're very talented. And, every day I was out at a conference, like I said, and they go, Debra, you weren't here. Where were you? Are you okay? I mean, they notice. I didn't go around campus telling everybody I was gone, but they notice, and, they care about you, and I care about them, just like, we care about our families. So I think they deserve what you and me take for granted.
Yeah.
And I think the state is not doing a good job of recognizing their abilities.
Yeah, right. Well, that's good. And maybe they'll be listening to the show, and then they'll ramp it up. Always a pleasure chatting with you, Debra Emerson, CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie Center. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, as you've been listening to our edition of Spotlight on the Community, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. I want to bring everyone's attention to the 22nd annual Morning Glory Brunch of St. Madeleine Sophie Center. We're going to be on Saturday, April the 29th from 11 to 3. It's going to be at their facility. Beautiful, beautiful. How many acres do you have there?
6 acres.
6 acres. Gorgeous, gorgeous land. Fun afternoon of tasting and live music and shopping and frog races, plastic frogs. Want to make sure everyone knows that. Raising money for a great cause on that. And Debra, wishing you nothing but great success on this. You've had them in before. I'd love to have next time you're on, maybe bring in some of the wonderful folks that built the program and share their artwork or the books and all that. Let's plan on that happening.
And I will make that happen.
Very good. Always good seeing you again, Debra.
Same here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Again, I'm Drew Schlosberg, and hope you enjoyed listening to our Spotlight on the community show here on Mission Fed Credit Union's beautiful studios in Scripps Ranch.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.